What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. I'm Micah. Today we're going to be reviewing the Smith & Wesson SD series of pistols. Right here I have an SD40, so this one is chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson, but they do make one called the SD9 VE. It is chambered in 9mm, and the guns are exactly the same except for that. So this review should apply to both. We're going to kind of just go through all the ins and outs of this gun, all the features, everything that it has to offer, what it's designed for, what I think it's good at, and then at the end of the video we're going to go out to the range and put a few shots through it and see how it does. So without further ado, let's dive right in, guys. So before we get too far into the video, I am going to show you that the gun is unloaded. You can see that there is no bullets in the magazine, and our chamber is clear. Safety first, guys, and that's very important. So this is a pistol designed for self-defense by Smith & Wesson. It's made here in the United States, and they do make the two different versions, the 40 cal and then the 9mm. I opted to get the 40 Smith & Wesson version of this gun because no, that's a total joke. At the time I bought this gun 2 years ago, 9mm ammo was very hard to find if you could find it at all. But almost every shop still had 40 Smith & Wesson. So that was a factor in my decision. And then I do think that 40 Smith & Wesson does have more stopping power than 9mm, and the bullets fly faster than 45. It's kind of a good middle ground. I think the 40 Smith & Wesson is an excellent round, but there's many different bullets out there that will do the same job. So this is just a very basic striker-fired pistol. There is no manual safety on it. It's press the trigger, bang. And that is exactly what Smith & Wesson was thinking, is that they just wanted a pistol that you could pull out and press the trigger and it will shoot. So it's very similar to the Glocks as far as they go. Smith & Wesson actually got in a lawsuit when they first manufactured this gun because it was so similar to Glocks. Glock sued them and won, and rumor is that Smith & Wesson still has to pay them a percentage of their sales every time one of these flies off the shelf. So the trigger from the factory is about a 7 to 8 pound trigger. After you get your gun and you use it more, that trigger kind of starts to break in. I've noticed that my trigger now, after 2 years, is sitting at about 6 to 6.5 pounds as far as pull goes. So it does soften up a little bit. Some people will complain that the trigger pull is just very hard. For what the gun is, being a self-defense pistol, I think the trigger is right where it needs to be. There is aftermarket springs, aftermarket triggers that you could get that would soften that pull up. So that is going to be an option if you want to soften the trigger pull. As far as kind of just all the different features of this gun, it just has very simple 3-dot sights there. 2 rear blades, 1 front one. The rear sights, I will say, are plastic. The front one is metal. So if you wanted to switch these out for night sights, for something a little bit taller, I've seen several different options out there. So that will definitely be a road that you could go down if you wanted to switch those out. It does have a standard rail on the front, so that would fit all of your laser sights, all of your flashlights. Put a small bayonet on there. Who cares? You got some options. It does just have a single-sided mag release. It is not an ambidextrous gun. There is not one on the other side right out of the box. Maybe that could be put on. It looks like there is a little spot there that maybe that could be an option, but out of the box it is not. So if you're right-handed like I am, it doesn't bother you at all. If you're left-handed, you are just gonna have to drop the mag with your forefinger. So just something you should know. The grips on this gun are very aggressive, and I think that's just because it is designed for self-defense. So whether your hand is dirty, whether your palms are sweaty, Smith & Wesson wanted you to be able to grab this gun and it not come out of your hand. And I think they nailed that very well. The rear part here is very aggressive. Same with the front. The sides, they're a little bit smoother, I guess I'll say. The sides are. But overall, it's a very aggressive feeling grip. I like it. If you spend all day out on the range shooting, this grip will physically start to rip up your palm. So I would wear a glove if you're gonna put more than 100 rounds through this when you're out shooting. Otherwise, for a self-defense, concealed carry type application, I love the aggressive grip. Wouldn't change anything there. It does have these small textured spots here for your finger to go. I really like that feature. I'm glad that Smith & Wesson did that. And it's a good practice to get into, is keeping your finger up on that spot when it's not on the trigger. There is another one on the left side of the gun as well. And for the grip that I like to do, I will have one finger right there on that one. My left hand, the thumb on my left hand will cover the one there, and then I kind of set my right thumb on top of my left thumb. So it's just a very positive feeling, a very good grip. Everything feels really solid when you're holding the gun like that, especially that there's grooves there for your fingertips. I really like that. There's been a few different models of this gun over the years, and they've kind of changed different things through the different models throughout the years. They've changed the texturing here on the slide a couple different times, and I really like where it's at right now. You kind of have these big channels, these raised ridges, and everything feels really solid when you're going to rack the slide. It's never slipped out of my hand once. You do have some on the front there as well, but really good feeling texture on the slide. I wouldn't change anything there. I think they nailed it. And the magazines for these are stainless steel. So I do kind of like to see that. You know, I know Glock will have a metal magazine, but it has like a plastic coating over it. I think these are pleasing to look at, and they function very well. They just slide in super slick. I've never had any problems with them whatsoever. So for your 40 Smith & Wesson, the magazine's gonna hold 14. So your capacity is 14 plus 1. The 9mm version of this gun, the SD9 VE, the magazines will hold 16. So you have a 16 plus 1 capacity if you get the 9mm. 14 plus 1 is still very good. That didn't bother me at all. I would hope that I never get in a situation to where I need 16 rounds versus 14, as do we all. But, so I am perfectly fine with the 14 plus 1, great capacity, even better with the 9mm. So we will just break this gun down for you then. It has these two little tabs, one on the right side right there, one on the left side, same spot. So we will just pull back our slide. Well, first let's take the magazine out. We will pull back our slide just a little bit with one hand, and we will depress those tabs, kind of push them down, put your fingernail on those, get them down, let your slide go forward, and then we press the trigger, and that will release our slide and barrel. So I don't know if you've ever seen the insides of a Glock. These SD series pistols look almost identical, and thus the reason that they got sued by Glock. It is almost the same gun. As you can see, this is a well-shot gun. It's probably going to be due for a cleaning soon, which we will do later. We'll pull our spring out. So as you can see, the rod that the spring is on is plastic. That might bother some people. I have seen aftermarket ones that are metal. So if you didn't want the plastic rod, you could swap it out for a metal one. I have never had one problem with this gun, with this spring, so it didn't bother me. And that's just something that you're gonna see on kind of our budget pistols. You know, there has to be a way that they're getting the price down on these so it's not that $600 or $700 pistol. But yep, it functions completely fine, never had a problem. We'll pull out our barrel here. So just kind of a stainless barrel. It is a 4-inch barrel, so pretty comparable to all of your mid-size guns. Typically on a full-size gun, whether it was a Glock 17 or a Glock 22. You'll see like a 4¼ barrel, 4½. It's just a little bit behind a full-size gun. The overall length of this gun is going to be 7.2 inches. The overall length of a full-size pistol is usually just about 8. So we're 3/4 inch under being a full-size gun, but the grip is fairly wide. And it does feel like a full-size gun in your hand. I know some compacts and some mid-size, the handle is a little bit shorter and you can't get all of your fingers on the grip without the magazine. Sometimes you'll see those magazines that have a finger groove on the end of them, and then that is where you would put your pinky or whatever it may be. This one is big enough that I can get all my fingers on the handle. So I do appreciate that. It feels like a full-size gun when it's in your hand. And I just really like the mid to full-size guns because that longer barrel, that longer length is going to help you be more accurate, okay? Bullets don't really matter if they're not on target. You can't eliminate the threat if you can't hit it. So I do like a little bit longer barrels, typically around that 4-inch mark or longer. I don't own anything that has less than a 4-inch barrel, but that's just my personal preference. You can do whatever you like and whatever fits your needs, and yeah, just go for it. So we will just assemble everything back here. We will just throw our barrel in, and then we will put our spring in here. Perfecto. Grab our grip here, and we just slide that on, those little wings right there. Slide it back, pull it back a little more, make sure it's on, and that's it, guys. That is the breakdown and the reassemble. Nothing to it, extremely easy to tear down your gun, clean it, do whatever you need to, swap out some springs, make that trigger pull lighter, all very simple. So as far as really getting down to it and comparing these to the Glock, I think the Glock has more of a smooth grip than this. I do like the aggressive grip on this over the grip on the Glocks. Truth be told, I like the sights on this better than the sights on a Glock. Glocks typically have kind of that U-shaped white line on the back. I like a classic 3-dot sight. It's just very easy for me. Obviously, you could swap these out for whatever you want, swap out the sights on your Glock. I do like the two-tone color that this has, that the bottom part is black, the polymer, and then that the top is that stainless slide. It just looks really nice, and it stays looking nice. You don't quite see marks and scratches on it as much with it just being a stainless slide. Nice touch. It kind of sets it apart from some other guns with it being two-tone. So that's just kind of a cool factor. As far as the angle of the handle relative to your slide and the barrel, I like the angle of this. When I grab the gun and I close my eyes and I put the gun out, I will open my eyes and my barrel is perfectly level. It's perfectly where I want it. When I do that with Glocks, typically I'll put the gun out and then I'll open my eyes and the barrel is up. I feel like that their angle between the handle and the barrel and the slide is just going to be a little bit greater than the angle on this. So I do like the angle. It's just it feels very natural putting it out, just with the way my hand grabs the gun and goes out. When I extend my arm, the barrel's just always level with my eyes. So I do like the ergonomics there. I do like the stainless mags that this has as opposed to the plastic coated ones that Glocks have. Glocks will have a metal rod in there that spring is on, I believe, whereas this one is plastic. The gun's gonna function the same with the plastic versus the metal, but it's just one part that maybe could be slightly better on the Glocks as opposed to this. But like I said, it's never done me wrong. I've had no issues with it whatsoever. It just helps to bring the price down. Your Glocks will have a metal rear sight. This one is plastic. Swap it out for a metal one then if you want. Swap it out for your night sights. That's definitely changeable. Again, it's just there to help get that price down. And it seems like too that Glocks are just a very popular gun. A lot of people have Glocks. I like to have something a little bit different maybe than everybody else has, and I do like to buy American made when I can. When the offering is just as comparable as, say, a foreign made product, you know, I always like to go American made, so I love that the Smith & Wesson, you know, is made in the States as opposed to Glocks, which are Austrian, I believe. At the end of the day, both are going to be good guns, you know, the SD9 VE, the SD40 VE, as opposed to, you know, your Glocks, whether you want the 19, the 17, the 22, the 23. Glocks are an exceptional gun. I'm not trying to discredit Glocks. You know, they are time-tested and battle-proven. But Smith & Wesson also offers a awesome value and a great product with these SD pistols. I think that they're right up with the rest of them, all the Glocks and all your other, you know, premium striker-fired pistols. This is just going to be a couple hundred or a few $100 less, kind of depending what else you're looking at. I first got this gun for $299 2 years ago, and that was the MSRP, the recommended price. Now I'm kind of seeing these guns around the $350 mark. So I don't know if Smith & Wesson upped the price, or maybe there's just not very many of them and demand is high that they can up the price. I don't know, but around $300 to $350, you should be able to get yourself an SD40 VE or an SD9 VE. And in 2 years, I have had zero problems with it. The one thing I ever got this gun to do is one time with a certain ammo I was using. It was 40 Smith & Wesson brass load Fiocchi. I don't really know how to pronounce that ammo. It's the Italian sounding stuff. You guys know what I'm talking about. It was brass rounds of that, and when I had first filled up my magazine, I put it in the gun, and I went to rack the slide to chamber the first round. And a bullet had gotten stuck kind of up against the barrel in kind of a wonky position, and then the slide pinched it. I think that was my error as opposed to the gun's error. You know, the gun was fairly new to me, and I think I just didn't rack that slide as hard enough as I should. Ever since then, I have always been very firm when I'm racking the slide. I will pull it back, and with my right hand, I will push forward just to get a very positive, firm rack on it, and it has never done that since. I've also never shot that ammo since. So, could have been the ammo, could have been me. Either way, it's never done it since. It was a one-time ordeal. The gun has just performed flawlessly since that. So then, getting close to the end here, as far as just what this gun is good for, it's going to be good for what it's made for, and that is a self-defense, concealed carry type application. With it just being a no safety striker fired pistol, it's an excellent self-defense gun. You know, if you ever needed something, if your life is ever threatened and you need to protect yourself, this is a very easy gun to just grab, very easy gun to shoot. So it excels in that category. With it being the size it is, just under a full-size gun, it makes for a good concealed carry pistol, I think, because you don't quite have that full 8-inch length of maybe your full size, the Glock 22 or the Glock 17, but it's maybe a little bit longer than some of your compacts and subcompacts. You know, like I said before, I do like that longer gun because it helps you be more accurate. It helps you get your bullets on target. So, and if they aren't on target, why are we even shooting? So I do like it for the concealed carry application. I will kind of show you how I carry that quick. I always carry appendix carry. I'm not trying to get into an argument of what's the best way to carry. Should you carry on your side, appendix, in your back, in your boot, in your hat, purse, pocket? There's a million different places to carry. I carry appendix. That's very easy and very practical for me and the activities I do. It lets me carry my gun wherever I go, whatever I'm doing. So You can see that the gun's not super bulky. You know, obviously I can get my full hand on it when I need to. I do love the size of this gun. You know, from the side it doesn't take too much of a t-shirt or anything, and the gun's fully hidden, fully concealed. You don't see it, there's no evidence of it. So it is a really good size for concealed carry applications, in my opinion. This is also just a great second gun to have, a good backup. Some guys will use this as a truck gun, is what they call it, because if their gun out of their car was ever stolen, you're not going to be too butthurt about it because it wasn't some $700 Glock. You know, it was just that $299, the $350, whatever it may be. It's not going to be such a blow to your wallet if you ever lose it, if something ever happens to it. And like I said, it always functions perfectly, you know, with things that gun prices and gun sales are doing right now. I bet you could buy one of these, and if a couple years down the road you want to get rid of it, I'm sure that you can get every penny of your money back. So I wouldn't be concerned about that. I frequently see them used for the same price as new ones, just because with the market right now, everybody's just buying everything that they can find. So sometimes you won't be able to find new ones of these. But if you can, I definitely would get one. I really like this gun. I will give it a 5-star review just because it's never done me wrong. And for the purpose that it's made for the reason it was built, it just meets that need and fills that role extremely well, guys. I really like this gun. I would encourage you to get one. If you ever see one. I appreciate this gun. I think it's a much better deal than some of the Glocks out there, and this is a much better pistol than some of your other cheaper budget guns, you know, whether that's a High Point or a Taurus, whatever it may be. I think you have a superior product for an excellent value here. So I think that's probably gonna do it, guys. We've really went over all the features, kind of my opinion on it, why I think it's a good gun, why I think you should get one. So I think now we just got to head out to the range and put a few rounds through it and see how it performs here. So stay tuned, guys. It's about to get really fun. Well, I think that's probably gonna wrap up the video, guys. I mean, the gun shoots great for what it is. I think this is the best bang for your buck self-defense pistol that you can buy right now, or definitely top 5. So let me know what you guys think. Give the video a like if this helped you out at all. Subscribe if you want to see more, and motorcycle stuff too. That's typically what I do. So until next time, guys, later.